I've designed a new and a unique b.tech computer science course for the first time in India. And this is the course for b.tech in 2030. This is the course that will prepare you for the up-and-coming upheavals in the field of computer science and how everything is going to completely change in the next 4 or 5 years. I'm Anustu Sharma. I'm a PhD in physics from University of Cambridge. I worked in Microsoft for a long time, and I currently run a lab in India with the most talented artificial intelligence engineers in the country, and we use AI to build one of the latest technologies in robotics, material science, exoskeletons across the fields. We found a gap. Most of the engineers that are being prepared by our so-called amazing legacy institutions in this country will not be prepared in the next 5 years to work in industry. We have created a course for b.tech 2030. Software engineering and computer science are completely going to change, and everyone knows this. The copy-paste engineer, the almost like a copywriter engineer who used to take some code from Stack Overflow, from the websites all over the internet, and is given a job, basically write a similar code and paste it somewhere, maybe your Salesforce job, your CRM development job, any of the jobs that currently exist are going to be eliminated every month, every 6 months. Microsoft has almost fired 3% of their staff yesterday. Same thing is happening in every single field and every big company. Companies obviously only care about the actual final result, which is now possible through replacing engineers who were copy-based engineers with AI that could actually do the copywriting of a code for you. The next leaders of engineering will be the ones, making the next exoskeletons coming out of India, making the next robot brains. You'll be picking your quadruped or your humanoid, and so maybe that'll be done in some other country. But who will put the brain inside of that quadruped or that humanoid to be able to run on themselves? The robots, they will have their own brain. So those brains will be designed with some multi-agentic systems. Different types of AIs will be combined together and trained over the years. And our students will do that. Students would be encouraged to explore rather than prepare themselves on some lead coding exercises or preparing themselves on some front-end or back-end specializations that will not exist at all. What will you do with a DevOps job? Well, DevOps will be totally automated. That specialization is not going to exist. So if you go and ask any teacher in any computer science college right now and ask them how would you actually train an agent, an embodied AI agent on top of a robot, say on your NVIDIA Jetson, do they know any of those words? How will they actually train you to do that? It's not important to know how to do full stack engineering anymore. It's important to know how an LLM works, what's the deeper part of the transformer technology, and what is the next step towards it. How do I solve the next problem? Who will make the next defense tech in India? But as time comes, with the passing months and this field getting better and better, they realize that 100% the current fields that we were looking at as one of the most, the primary fields where everyone was going, the fields where everyone wanted to study, the fields where everyone wanted to train, which is basically, train yourself to be this copycat coding engineer, is something that's completely going to be gone. So now what is next? Next is the mental model that these students have the more. And that mental model basically comes from people who are AI engineers themselves. And that's why we thought that it's time that the engineers join the field. Your PhD computer science faculties of 20 years old, nothing against them, but they are not prepared to prepare themselves to prepare you for this field. So I was talking to say around 30, 40 leading engineering faculties across Rajasthan, and I did this seminar with them on called CSE 2030, and it was purely my motivation to explain to them like how the field is going to change. Maybe you should adopt the ways of the stage field. And I was shocked on how unaware they were on how AI is already progressed and how it's already changing the field. Would see in 4 years that a 10th class project from a school project would basically be go home and make the software and come back and show it to us. And that's something that the schools will have, say, 20 projects posted online. And this is not a joke. This is something that will be possible very soon. The 10th class student would be able to use already a DevOps AI agent would then on AWS, and you would not need a specialized engineer for that task. What do you need engineers for? You need the thinking models. You need them to think. You need them to be the geniuses. You need them to solve the problems, find the problems and find the solutions, and put the engineering task and will to use their mathematics knowledge, to use their physics knowledge, to combine and become a niche expert, say in material science, and use AI and in material science to build the next type of materials that will solve the battery crisis, that will cross the battery threshold that we breached now. You need engineers who'd be finding the problems, say, a nurse not being able to pick up a heavy patient in a hospital. You build exoskeletons. You go and solve that problem right there, because software engineering would be very easy. Building softwares would be very easy, but you need engineers who find those problems and have the technical skills and the intellectual depth to solve those problems. So I'm inviting the select few. I'm inviting the outside the box thinkers, the students who've always found themselves to be different than the others. I'm inviting them to join me and my group of AI engineers and join us in solving the next big problems and become the AI engineer that would be highly sought after in the next 5 years. So this is B.tech CSE for 2030.